On the way to Cinque Terre, we passed the Apuan Alps with the white Carrara marble showing on the tops. You got to think Michelangelo's David, Da Vinci, all those sculptors. This marble's gone all over the world. Although Cinque Terre has 5 villages, the place we went to start, which was Levanto, could be considered the 6th because it's the starting point for the other 5. The Cinque Terre actually means 5 lands, and it's a coastal area in northwest Italy. Not counting Levanto, we only got to see one of the other coastal towns. We didn't go to the other ones because the water shuttle couldn't go to theirs because the water was just too choppy. It was kind of stormy when we were there. We could have taken the train, but we didn't. Cinque Terre is mentioned in documents dating all the way back to the 11th century. Monterosa and Vernazza were actually the first 2 places settled. Other villages grew up later on. These are within the territory or city-state at the time of the Republic of Genoa. But in the 16th century, the inhabitants of these coastal towns had to build forts and towers to defend themselves from attacking Turkish pirates. The fishermen's boats and the cottages actually were conceived more in the late 70s, more as a tourist attraction than an actual fisherman's industry. The history of Levanto dates back to the Romans. From the 13th century, the settlement then belonged to the Republic of Genoa, or city-state. But for some reason, this area was allowed to maintain its independence, probably because it was a wealthy trading town at the time. Although it's difficult to see, there are dolphins out there. There were actually 22 tiny villages scattered around the Levanto Valley, and some of them really only consist of a few houses and a nice little church or a chapel. But they're wonderful hilltop locations. If you actually have the time, you can take a car and drive around and visit some of those villages. But there's so much to see in the main area. The predominant crops in this area have been grapes and olives, and there are also a lot of fishermen, but most of the fishermen are based in Monterosso. But now, in the 21st century, the main source of income is tourism. This is a view from the shuttle boat in Levanto and then the surrounding area. And again, if you look up in the hills, you can see some of those little villages that were built in the medieval area. There are also the remains of 30 mills which used to make their famous olive oil. Lemons are a big thing here, and the limoncello is amazing. This is a beautiful beach area to swim in the Mediterranean. And if you think you are sure-footed enough, if you're willing to walk away from the tour areas, you will be amazed at where narrow stairways that you might think are just somebody's personal house stairways can lead you to. If you hike around, you can even find a Hello Kitty bike or a car like out of a Fellini film. Actually, every time you go down to the seashore, it looks a little different. The Piazza della Loggia is a pretty square with a lovely old 13th century medieval loggia. This could be the start of the Italian tub shrine. Hidden away on a back path up a hill is the Church of St. Andrew the Apostle. Even hidden away, like I've mentioned before, there are works of art. There are other hidden churches. You wonder how many churches does a neighborhood need? A lot of mountaintop gardens. People used to grow a lot of their own stuff. If this tree could talk, the stories it could tell. Now this is mail delivery. It was cloudy most of the 2 days we were there, but when we went to leave, the sun came out. No problem, it was still a great visit.